FM, a primeira rádio desporto.
E aproveitamos neste momento para olhar para na conferência de imprensa de Francesco Farioli e também de Borja Sainz, jogador da equipa do Futebol Clube do Porto, e também o respectivo treinador na Antevisão, esse Futebol Clube do Porto do Estugarda, partida relativa nas contas da segunda mão dos oitavos de final da Liga Europa, uma conferência de imprensa que vamos acompanhar em direto na primeira rádio desporto e num simultâneo na Rádio Jornal do Centro. Vamos às primeiras questões colocadas a Borja Sainz.
Como é que olha para esta segunda mão? Peso é que tem, na sua opinião, na partida, a vantagem preciosa que traz da Alemanha? Bem sabemos que é difícil ganhar na Alemanha. E aproveitando também aqui a presença do Borja, perguntar também como é que olha para o trabalho dele e de todos os extremos. No caso do Borja, também época de estreia no Futebol Clube do Porto, não só ele, também o William, o PP e o Oscar.
Yeah, so about the first part, that is of course related with the game of tomorrow. Of course, it's better to have a small advantage. So in this part we are happy, but in reality we should consider that we start from 0-0. Tomorrow is going to be a new game, a new history. So to approach the game with a desire to win, there is nothing more and nothing less that we can do. That is going to be our approach because we are going to face one team that for sure they will come here with a lot of desire and a lot of intensity, and we have to be ready, to answer in the proper way. So the advantage is already part of the past. What happened in Stuttgart, stay in Stuttgart, and now is tomorrow in Dragao, and there we have to stand with our desire to play all the cards to go through. About Borja and the role of all the forward players, I think I mentioned several times, even if the players were not here with me, but you know how many times I underline the importance of all the players, and Borja is one of the guys that played the most. I think he's the player with the third or fourth highest amount of minutes in the season, the third or the fourth players with the biggest goal contribution between assist and goal in the team. So in this part, I think the numbers already speak for themselves, and in the other side is what these guys are doing in terms of energy, work, commitment, spirit of sacrifice, and it's something quite unique. And as I already said several times, I'm really grateful for the work that they are doing and the help that they are giving to the team.
Obrigado. Já agora fazer também uma pergunta ao Borja. Boa tarde, antes de mais, vindo aqui à conferência. Como é que olhas para a exibição que o Porto fez na Alemanha, também com uma grande contribuição tua no golo do Mofi, e o que é que é preciso para o Futebol Clube do Porto conseguir replicá-la ou inclusive até melhorá-la neste jogo no Dragão?
Bueno, como ha dicho el míster, yo creo que es un partido totalmente diferente. Sí que allí hicimos un buen partido y hicimos bien las cosas, pero bueno, yo creo que mañana va a ser un partido intenso y que ellos van a querer venir a ganar y con todo, pero bueno, nosotros estamos preparados y estamos también con la cabeza puesta también para saber que ellos van a venir a remontar, pero bueno, nosotros tenemos nuestro partido y hacer las cosas bien.
Sport TV.
Boa tarde, em direto para a Sport TV. Farioli, olhando para o jogo de amanhã e a vantagem que o Porto traz de Estugarda, de que forma é que isso pode mudar a abordagem do Estugarda e de que forma é que o Porto deve jogar com isso, tendo em conta a vantagem que tem no marcador?
In reality, I don't think so, because we both are team with a very clear mentality and mindset. For them to be more aggressive than what they were in the first leg, I think is difficult, even though I think they will replicate a quite similar game. In the last game against Leipzig, they adjust few things, just a small adjustment of position and characteristics of few players in certain role, but who they are is very clear. And who we are as well is very clear. So the game that, from the tactical point of view, I expect a very similar game. Of course, with the adaptation, with the knowledge from both sides, and try always to find the proper and a better contraposition if it's possible. For sure, it's going to be a game that is going to be defined by details, by small adjustment. This is what we did in the last few days. Try to be really on top of the small details, but as Borja said, the most important part is going to be the energy, the intensity, and the desire that we are going to put there. This one has to be there, and after, of course, the tactical part is going to be hopefully the right support to deliver a top performance that is needed to go through.
Borja, boa tarde. Olhando para o choque físico que o Porto teve em Estugarda, ou seja, o combate com uma equipa da Bundesliga, top 4 da Bundesliga, a sua experiência de Championship, de futebol inglês, os duelos muito físicos também o ajudaram a antever aquilo que ia encontrar frente a este Estugarda e perguntar-lhe se está preocupado, porque há praticamente 3 meses que não marca, depois de uma fase inicial da época em que marcou mais vezes, se isso passa pela sua cabeça ou se não é de toda uma preocupação para si o facto de andar mais distante dos golos.
No, la verdad que lo del gol no me preocupa porque al final lo que dice el míster, estamos para ayudar al equipo. Sí que es verdad pues que siempre es bonito meter gol y en cuanto a lo que has dicho de Stuttgart, es un equipo que va tercero en la Bundesliga, es muy buen equipo, pero bueno, nosotros estamos preparados para hacer bien las cosas y yo creo que lo más importante es que estamos haciendo bien las cosas y mientras vaya así, pues bueno, todo llega.
CMTV.
Boa tarde, David Monteiro, CMTV e não. Se Tiago Silva jogar amanhã, atinge a marca dos 1000 jogos na carreira. É uma pergunta para os dois. Aquilo que pergunto primeiro, Mister, é se o jogador está apto para jogar depois de dias difíceis e a que experiência é que este jogador e que importância é que jogadores como este, atendendo ao nível de jogos que já teve na carreira e tiveram na carreira, poderão ajudar neste jogo em particular e nesta fase da temporada com muitos jogos em tão pouco tempo.
Yeah. So, of course, the possible achievement is incredible. I'm not really updated about how many players they did 1,000 professional matches, but it's really something unique and says a lot about, of course, the career of Thiago, what he has done in the past and what he's keep doing, because in reality he is still a football player of elite level, and I think he proved this one in all the times that he stand on the pitch with a t-shirt of FC Porto. The opportunity tomorrow to reach this individual target is fantastic, but I'm sure that in his mind the main priority is to help the team to go through. Of course, he's living a moment that is very particular, very difficult, but on top of being a top and elite football player as well, is an incredible leader with a capacity, to lead with a voice, but even more to lead with the example. And in the last few days, since he's back with the team, he has been always with us with the right attitude, with the right energy, and I think, of course, he has now even one reason more to play and to compete and to try to help the club to achieve what we want.
A pergunta também era para Borja, sobre qué aporta Thiago al equipo.
Bueno, como deportivamente todos sabemos lo que ha sido Thiago, pero bueno, yo desde que vino como persona yo creo que es una grandísima persona y tiene un corazón y ganas de ayudar a todo el equipo. Yo creo que bueno, todo el mundo lo ha visto y bueno, también todas las condolencias a su familia por todo lo que está pasando, porque yo lo viví hace poco y la verdad que es duro, pero bueno, yo creo que lo mejor y para él y para toda su familia yo creo que es que pueda hacer una gran actuación mañana y esperemos que pueda meter un gol porque es muy bonito dedicárselo a su madre y bueno, estamos todos con él y somos una gran familia.
TSF.
Olá, boa tarde. Tiago Arquim Gonçalves para a TSF, primeiro para o Mr. Francesco Farioli. O plano do jogo para amanhã será também fazer várias alterações no 11, 7, 8, por aí como aconteceu em relação ao jogo da primeira mão. E pergunto também o facto de o Porto ter conseguido marcar 2 golos nos últimos 3 jogos ainda na primeira parte, se isso também serve de motivação e faz parte do plano do jogo, entrar forte, marcar um golo e tornar a eliminatória ainda mais bem encaminhada.
about the desire to score as soon as possible. This is, I think, for all the coaches and all the teams in the world. Everybody would like to take the lead as soon as possible of the game. That's quite normal. What we try to do, of course, is to approach the game with a certain attitude, with a clear desire to try to impose our way of playing, to be on the pitch and to be the protagonist of what we do. Of course, for the game of tomorrow, we play against one team that in this part they are very similar to us. One team that is really brave in the way that they behave on the ball and off the ball. And as I said in the previous press conference, we share a different structure, but we share especially a common vision about the way that we like to see our team behaving on the pitch. And tomorrow, as I said, we and I expect a game that is going to be quite similar in this part. About the lineup. Let's see. We have, of course, a few hours more to decide. The reality that I am in a situation where I'm really grateful with my squad and as well with the people that helped me to build the team. I already mentioned several times the importance of the work of the club and the work of the president in building a team so competitive. And after, of course, the decision that came through the hard work and the commitment of the players that they put all of them in a really good level that allow me to take decision in the last period to have let me say quite extreme rotation from one game to the other because we always had like 7-8 players. As I told you, in my opinion, I believe is really important to arrive in this moment of the season with the right energy, fresh legs, and the right hunger inside and spirit to go and to deliver. But this one, again, can be just if you have everybody ready to play and ready to compete at the highest level. It's going to be like this forever. Maybe yes, maybe not. We go step by step, game by game. The most important part is that all the guys involved for them to be ready for any type of decision, and honestly, so far, I cannot complain about that.
Para o Borja Sainz, já se falou do impacto muito forte que o Borja teve na equipa quando chegou ao Porto, no início da época. Acredita que nesta parte final da temporada pode voltar a ter o mesmo nível de impacto, ou seja, o melhor Borja Sainz ainda poderá voltar?
Bueno, al final yo creo que lo importante es, como he dicho, ayudar al equipo. No me importa lo que digan fuera, lo que me importa al final yo creo que es lo que pasa aquí dentro y bueno, yo cuando hablo con el staff y todo, ellos están contentos por el trabajo que estoy haciendo. Luego sí que es verdad pues que los goles y las asistencias pues pueden llegar y si no llegan pues bueno, también yo creo que el trabajo también que se hace día a día también da su fruto, y entonces bueno, estoy tranquilo y estoy seguro de que todo llegará.
SIC.
Olá Francisco, boa tarde. O Porto parece estar a atravessar dos melhores momentos da época. Pergunto se isto foi pensado e projetado para estar a equipa on top nesta altura das decisões.
Yeah, we try. I always say that I think one of the most interesting part of the job that we do is to try to play a game in different tables, in the way that you need to have in one side a very strong and strict zoom in about what is the next game, which is the next opponent, and which are the possible challenges. But in the other side, I think it's really important as well to have the opportunity to breathe in a longer view, and in this case a bit more zoom out, try to understand what could be the next and what can be the next scenarios, according of course about the competition where you are in, if you're able to keep competing, etc., etc. And in this part, once again, is to remark the work of the club in building the team, and as well to be like always really close to me in certain decisions. We spoke one time about the importance of the week that we had in Algarve that looks already a long time ago, but in reality it was at the beginning of January, so just a couple of months ago. That was a week that helped us to bring people together, to integrate the new players, to reboost one more time the physical condition, refresh few tactical concepts. And in the moment that I came out with this idea, in a few hours everything was done. And these are like small things, marginal things, or in paper we believe that are marginal things. In reality, I believe are really important steps to create the conditions to be successful. From there to arrive till the end and to win everything is of course a long story. But what we need to do and what I want to do is to try to preserve and to create the conditions to be competitive in the three competition. Is a luxury that we have, more than we have, is a luxury that we gain with hard work. Because in reality, if we go back to July, how many players we changed, the change of mentality, the different way of playing, the new standards, the fact to bring everybody together, and from there compete, and to compete, as you know, in three different competitions with very strong opponents. So I think the work so far is quite positive. Now we are almost in the final race of the season, so we arrive with the legs in the right place, mentally in the right place. So now let's go and let's play for all.
Borja, sente essa energia renovada no plantel, capaz de levar a equipa até ao título nacional y quem sabe título europeo?
¿Se siente la energía renovada en el plantel y si podemos llegar a un título nacional y europeo?
Bueno, yo veo capaz al equipo de todo, lo podemos ver todos los fines de semana y todas las semanas, pero bueno, al final yo creo que vamos paso a paso, estamos pensando primero en mañana y bueno, lo que vendrá pues bueno, ya se verá, pero bueno, si el equipo yo creo que lo hemos podido ver y es capaz de todo.
Record?
Boa tarde, Rui Sousa, Record Mista. Nos últimos jogos a equipa foi muito elogiada pela subida de forma, essencialmente a energia que ganhou depois dos jogos com o Sporting, Benfica, Estugarda, agora Moreirense. Eu pergunto, isso tem muito a ver com a subida do meio-campo, o Alan Varela, o Froholt parece revigorado, parece outro jogador, o Gabri Veiga também voltou ao nível no início da época. Essa energia que o meio-campo trouxe foi fundamental para esta subida de forma da equipa em geral?
Yes, the energy of the midfielders, but the energy of the forward players, because at the end you can behave in a certain way just if all the pieces of the puzzle are in the right place. You mentioned, a few players. I think one clear example is now the fact that Froholt, that for many weeks he had a quite big load on his shoulder. Naturally, between December and beginning of January, maybe he had like a small flexion or was not brilliant as he used to be before. And in the last game, he's progressing again to the highest level. And this one goes the same with Rodrigo and Gabri, Borja and Oscar. We have a team that is honestly quite balanced, where everybody can play, everybody can enter, everybody can start. And we have a group that is really connected, really that really find a pleasure to work one for each other. The player that start, the player that enter, the player that are just involved into the training session. In this part, I can give you the example of Dominique, that is the player that in the last period didn't get much minute. If you see how he comes to the training session every day with a big smile, big energy. In January, he had maybe a moment where, of course, the market and the different possibilities appears, but now he's here every day, connected, really to help, ready to make the team better, and this is what we need. And this is, for me, honestly, the only part where we need to be really aware and to put our attention to keep this level till the end.
Para o Borja, neste momento vive uma situação diferente do início da época. Neste momento é suplente no campeonato, com a chegada, principalmente depois da chegada do Oskar Piektuszewski. Como é que tem visto a
a chegada do Oscar, como é que é a relação entre vocês? Como é que tem vivido esta situación nova de ser suplente no campeonato?
Bueno, al final yo creo que lo que ha dicho el míster, soy de los jugadores que más minutos ha jugado, ahora ha venido Oscar, pero bueno, tengo una relación muy buena con él, es un grandísimo jugador como lo hemos podido ver y bueno, es también una gran persona que con la edad que tiene yo creo que es muy maduro y sabe estar en el vestuario y bueno, todavía le queda mucho por recorrer porque es un grandísimo jugador.
Alguma questão mais? Any questions for media? Thank you. Obrigado.
E está assim concluída essa conferência de imprensa do Futebol Clube Porto. Na antevisão é esse duelo entre o Futebol Clube Porto e a formação do Estugarda, na partida relativa às contas da segunda mão dos oitavos na final da Liga na Europa, uma grande partida de futebol a não perder para acompanhar com relato na Golo FM esta na quinta-feira pelas 8 da noite, num simultâneo na Rádio Jornal do Centro e claro está, como se sabe também através das plataformas digitais nas redes sociais, quer no Facebook, quer no canal de YouTube da Golo FM. Subscreva no canal e ative o sininho para receber todos os avisos e todos os alertas quando do início de uma partida em direto na nossa antena.
Golo FM, a primeira rádio de desporto.
E está agora na hora de trazer